Welcome everybody out to podcast number 425. We're going to talk really quickly while I'm driving here about Miro. Stay with us.
This is the Elevate Construction Podcast, delivering remarkable content for workers, leaders, and companies in construction wanting to take their next step. Get ready to step out of your comfort zone with Jason Schroeder as he encourages you to do better, live a remarkable life, and expect more. Let's go.
Welcome everybody. I hope you're doing well. You know I hate to give you a podcast in the car because I don't want the audio quality to be bad. However, I'm having a hard time because I'm in victim mode over here, finding time to get this podcast done when I'm not in the car. So here you go. I have to share this with you. I'm probably the latest one on the bus here, but for those of you who aren't, I have to talk to you about Miro. That's M-I-R-O. Now, let me give you a little bit of context. I love visual systems. I love, like vPlanner. I love Smartsheet. I love a lot of these programs. Hoilu's got a really neat system and a whiteboard. I love Bluebeam. These are visual systems. You're able to draw on there, visualize it. It's just fantastic. Now, let me take you back in time a little bit. I did Felipe Engineer-Manriquez's Scrum course. I think it's from scrum.org. And it was a great class. We actually stole most of our concepts and training methods for our tact course from that one. And from a tact perspective, made it 3-4 times better. Now, it's not 3 or 4 times better than the Scrum training. They're on the same level there. And Felipe constantly improves. But I'm just saying, we were able to create a world-class training because of what we learned from Felipe there. Really good stuff. He uses Mural, and that's M-U-R-A-L. And in Mural, you're able to create little sticky notes, assignments. There's templates in there that will bring up certain backdrops. Like if anybody's ever been familiar with the business model canvas or Scrum or certain outlines or methods from different books, they usually have a pre-built template background for those to where you can follow the same processes. I mean, it's really neat. You can put emojis in there. You can draw arrows. You can draw lines. You can sketch. You can insert pictures, you can link, you can do all kinds of things in this background. So when I was doing the Scrum training, and actually when we do the TAC training, we put people on a Mural board. And on that Mural board, you're able to do interactive assignments, activities, do collaboration, use the sticky notes, do pull planning, do scheduling, link to different things, post information, post progress. It's fantastic. So I started using Mural and signed up for a subscription. And it does confetti and it outlines things and you're able to present from it. So I think Miro is a really fantastic program for training. I also saw when I was working with the construction accelerator folks, they were using Miro, M-I-R-O. A little bit different, not the same functionality. They're starting to merge and copy each other a little bit. I don't know if they have the same parent company or not, but I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of nice, right? I already have Miro, no big deal. But then I was collaborating with Niklas Modig on his island, and he's using Miro. And his sketches and outlines and mind maps were beautiful and just really nice. So I started using it, and on his platform, I was kind of forced to, and mapped out the next courses that we're doing for construction excellence for our transformational, our organizational transformation programs. And I've been using that as we're recording those courses. The first course that I'm doing is Lean in Construction, Fundamentals of Lean in Construction. And so I used that. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to sign up for this. So I started doing a couple of boards here and there. Then when I went and I was doing a proposal for Green Street, I mapped out on Miro the path that we were going to take for their organizational transformation. Green Street's great, fantastic company. Anyway, outlined it on there, and it was so stinking beautiful. And it was real time. I was doing it right there in front of them, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is great stuff. So I designed the Green Street organizational transformation around it, where they are using the construction excellence program. We meet every week. We're on the Miro board. Each individual person has their own Miro board coaching board where we track their progress and their next assignments and how they can take their next step and really leverage their success, right? So that's the system. They also do some reading in the background, and then we track progress. So the tools are the Construction Excellence Program, Miro, Google Docs and Google Sheets. So we're basically on a Google Drive file, the meeting, and then the books that they're reading. So Audible. So they have 5 interfaces that they can interface with, but really they only have 2. The Construction Excellence Platform, which is world-class, and then the Miro board. It's really effective. I post meeting notes on there. I post assignments. I post graphics. I post answers. They post their progress. We post our trackers on there. Everything goes on there. So with previous clients, yeah, we created raving fans out of the previous clients too, but with previous clients, it was like, oh, where's that email you sent me? Oh, I need to follow up on that. Oh, what was that again? Hey, I really don't have a clear vision of this. Just a lot of disconnectedness until I learned about switching to these Miro boards. So we have Miro. So now I'm going to explain kind of the evolution of where we are now. Everything I do, I map out on Miro. So if I'm on a phone call, I'm mapping it out. If I'm talking to somebody or a customer, I'm mapping it out. If I'm going through and troubleshooting with somebody doing coaching, I'm mapping it out. If I'm solving a problem with an internal employee, I'm mapping it out. At church, I've got everything mapped out on Miro visually. So just give you a couple of examples. So like coaching, I post questions in there, they answer, and then I'm like, here, I recommend this, I recommend this, I recommend this. I can post pictures and all kinds of stuff in there, podcasts, videos, anything. With customers, I'm like, if we follow this process and this is where the project needs to be, these are the different things we need to do. And instead of just telling them verbally what it is, I'll actually post a picture of it. So they're like, oh, okay, that's what's expected. And then when I'm done with the call, they have the link to the Miro board. And they can just go follow it right along. Whereas I used to get a lot of questions and a lot of confusion. They're like, nope, got it. I'm ready to go, because it was visual. And with church, we're focusing all of our efforts around helping people. So what are the things that people need? Well, it might be self-reliance or a course or a food order, or they might need a visit or somebody to show them love or somebody to help them through a budgeting situation or whatever. We can put people's names on there in a confidential board and move them along a process there that will really help them and show love and make them feel like they're a part of a community. And we're like seeing it visually where they are, and we're like, oh, I could do that, I could do that. And it's really neat, right? I was on the phone with Kevin the other day, and he works with us internally at Elevate. And I was like, how do you like this? And he was like, Jason, mapping these things out on this Miro board is therapeutic, because usually I just think about it in my head and I try to remember it, and I'm worried who's on first, who's on second, but as it's written down, I can just absorb the information and experience it and not worry about forgetting it. He's like, it's calming, it's relaxing. And I was like, yes. So when we have an idea, a graphic, a map, an outline, coaching, anything, I'm using these boards. Now I'll close it out with this, because this is a short podcast. What I'm finding out is that if I do it real time in front of somebody, they've retained the information, number one. Number two, they have it for reference in the future. Number three, they comprehend it better. And number four, they're really impressed. And I have been able to wow customers pretty nicely on that. Once you get pretty fast on using it and adding stickies and outlining things in a visual way, you can really wow customers. And so how does this apply to construction? Well, if you're on a construction project, everything in the office that should be a part of a Scrum system. I'll say this, Hal and I just did this on a podcast, right? But the tact plan is the backbone of the rhythm of the project, and everything else should be aligned with it. And if the tact is the flow system, then the Scrum is the pull system. Meaning that the efforts of the project management team on a project management site, when it's within a project, they should be scrumming their efforts to support the field. And this can all be done on Miro. Your last planner system with your pull plans, this can all be done on Miro. Your visual huddle boards with whatever meeting you're talking about can all be done on Miro if you want. Your weekly work plans can be done on Miro. Your daily huddles and your huddle boards can be done on Miro. I mean, these boards are just fantastic. They are over the top effective and fantastic. So if you want to do collaboration, you're in design, you have clusters, you have Scrum teams, you have the Last Planner system, you have huddles, you have weekly work plans, you have team meetings. All of this stuff can be mapped in a visual sense and get out of that boring agenda, non-visual type environment and get into this and use it for all of your systems that you have on the construction site. And not only that, it's fun. Not only that, it's visual. Not only that, you can retain it. Not only that, you have it for reference. Not only that, you're going to start wowing people. Not only that, it's more engaging. Not only that, it's addictive. I could just keep going on and on and on and on. And so you're probably going to need to download Miro. You're probably going to need to sign up, use it once, use it again, use it a third time, and then actually find a real scenario where you use it. And then one more time after that, you really start to get used to it and get addicted. So you're probably looking at 7 interactions with this program before you get addicted to it. But you have to get into these if you really want to leverage some cool, amazing productivity and visualization. I mean, it's just fantastic. So I wish you the best. I hope that this works out for you, and I hope that you found this podcast useful. On we go.
Please join us next time in elevating the entire construction experience for workers, leaders, and companies coast to coast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to share with your construction colleagues and help us spread the word by rating, subscribing, and leaving a review on your preferred podcast listening platform. We really appreciate it.